Hello, my fellow Americans. My name is Arnold, but I will not say my last name because it sounds like the N-word, even though it starts with an S. But I need no introductions because, as everybody knows, I am the most popular person in the entire world, and also everybody knows me. I was paid over $10 million just to pick a woman upside down in my favorite movie of all time, Terminator 3, and I push her head down into the toilet. My wife lets me do that to her also, but I have to pay her in order to do it. In fact, that is what I am using the $10 million for, to do with what I want. But that is not why I am here. I am here because I am the governor of the great state of California. I am not the governor of those little puny states like Rhode Island and Vermont and Montana. California is not a girly state. We are like the biggest muscle on the biggest body in the entire world. And that includes Germany back in 1942, when my father's first plan at world domination started to backfire. And that is why he decided to have a son he would call Arnold, as I would represent an even bigger opportunity to take over the entire world. Not just for Austria, but for Germany as well. And as it turns out now, for California also. It has come to my attention lately that people are blaming me for things that they think is the governor's fault. Problems with California that they also think should be my problem too. One of these problems is the deficit. So I would like to take this time to blame the $15 billion deficit of California on my beautiful wife Maria Shriver and the rest of the Democrats. I ask my wife, honey, where did you put the bills for California? And every day she tells me not to worry and to call Uncle Ted. And by the time I get off the phone with Teddy, I am very confused by what he says. So for everybody who wants to blame me for not paying my bills, I want you to know that if you're referring to the bills that weren't getting paid before I was in office, that is Grave Davis's fault. And for all the bills that aren't getting paid after I was in office, that is my wife's fault. I wake up every morning knowing what I want to do because they are my dreams. And every day my wife rolls on top of me and she starts doing things to me and make me very confused about what I am doing, and this is the reason why I have not found a solution to our credit crisis. Now, I want you to listen to me very carefully. I was the highest paid actor in all of Hollywood before I decided to take a big cut in pay. So because my wallet is more pumped up than anybody else's, I am also more talented at paying bills than anybody else. I have learned that the best way to pay bills is to make more money than anybody else. And then it is a lot easier to pay for everything you want. Not only am I worth more than half of Hollywood put together, but my state is the fifth largest economy in the world. Look at the little girly world getting picked on by the great big state of California, which is so pumped up. Especially since I am the governor and am pumping California up even more. And speaking of pump, it reminds me to talk to you now about oil. The greatest issue concerning oil today is the issue of offshore drilling. As some of you probably think you know, there is a lot of oil off the coast of California, and people want to cultivate to meet our growing energy demands. Every day I can't even make it from my bedroom without being lectured to go about pumping and drilling and pumping. Every time I turn around, I keep hearing in my head, drill, 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 voices in my head. My wife keeps yelling at me. I say, honey, please, not in front of the children. We can talk about this later in private, where I still do not listen to her because I am too pumped up to control myself. But I am here to tell you today that I will be an even better president than George W. Bush is. I will be the greatest president of all time, maybe even the greatest president who has ever lived. Then I will be able to laugh at everybody and say to them, remember when I told you I wasn't interested in running for president? Well, I lied.